Hey Nikki gang, what's up? Welcome back to Nikki Reacts TV. It's your girl Nikki and you are tuned into another reaction video. So we are going to put the pause and pump the brakes on all the foolishness and let's focus on a more serious topic that is circulating all over the internet and all over the country. It's not a lot of times that women of color, these tragedies get brought to light. So we are going to give our thoughts and opinions. I'm going to react to it. And please feel free to leave your comments down below. So if you are not familiar and if you have been living under a rock, I'm just going to briefly recap and we're going to react to the story of Shanquella Robinson, who was a 25-year-old woman from Charlotte, North Carolina, who mysteriously passed away during a trip to Mexico with some of her friends. But after a video showed her being viciously attacked, her family is now calling for justice and truth about the circumstances involving her passing. So she was a very successful young woman in her city. She was well known. She was a popular hair braider. She had an online boutique. So she had a lot of things going for her. And on October 29th would be the last day that Shanquella Robinson was alive.
Breaking news just into our newsroom within the past hour. We're learning that the Charlotte FBI field office has officially opened an investigation into the death of a woman on vacation in Cabo, Mexico back in October. Now, Queen City News first brought you the story about Shanquella Robinson's mysterious.
So in my opinion, it did take the news, the nationally syndicated news, all of this time to finally feel that this story was worthy enough and that this woman's life was worthy enough to be broadcasted all over the world. Because if you guys remember the story of Natalie Holloway, who was a Caucasian young woman who went missing in Aruba, literally the next day she was all over the news and it was a worldwide investigation. But stories of women of color, you know, it does not get as much light. And it's unfortunate, but okay, news. Let's see what you guys are going to do. Let's keep the story alive. Let's keep it going. And let's continue to put her name out there so that more developing pieces to the story can be investigated and brought to light. So let's talk about what we know about the story. We know she went to St. Cabo's to celebrate her friend's birthday and mysteriously passed away. We know her friends left her in Mexico, went back to the United States without her and told her parents that she passed away of alcohol poisoning. Now, let's just stop right there. You mean to tell me you left your friend in a whole nother country, expired from this earth, just left her there and flew back to the United States, had the audacity to go visit her parents and tell them a whole bold-faced lie that she is still in Mexico, deceased, and that she passed away of alcohol poisoning. If that isn't a red flag of foul play, I don't know what is.
Thursday, Mexican authorities told Queen City News Shanquella Robinson's friends lied to them about what happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo who said Shanquella Robinson had alcohol poisoning. The same story her family says they told them.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse.
It wasn't until her autopsy came back that Mexican police discovered she had a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which is instability in the uppermost vertebrae.
So let's talk about what the autopsy revealed, which was a severe vertebrae injury of the spinal cord and atlas luxation, which is, I guess, vigorous movements involving the vertebrae in her neck, which caused her neck to break, which does not align, obviously, with the story of her having alcohol poisoning. And a new video that has been surfacing all over the internet, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, showing her being viciously beaten and attacked by one of her friends who has now been identified as Dejanay Johnson. So I'm not going to play the video of her being viciously attacked on my channel, but I'm pretty sure you can find it. It's all over the internet, but I will play the soundbite and you can hear her being viciously assaulted, and her friends are standing around, mind you, filming, not even intervening. So at that point, by them filming and not interjecting, it makes them complicit in this crime, if you ask me, because it was a crime. And you can also hear her friends encouraging her to fight back when Shanquella is faintly being heard saying no. So let's take a listen.
Okay. Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No. Why she not fighting?
At least something. At least fight back, something.
Get up, bro. Get up.
So you mean to tell me all of these people are just standing around watching this girl get molly-whopped, dog-walked, slung like a Raggedy Ann, and just continue to film it, mind you, while she's naked? Throw all they asses under the jail. So a lot of people were wondering and confused about why she was naked in the fight video. And since then, there has been a new video that has surfaced on the internet showing and explaining why this may have been. So here's a video of Shanquella, who is the one recording the video. She appears to be naked and she's encouraging all of her friends to get naked too. Maybe they're gonna go do some skinny dipping, who knows? But let's watch and let's take a listen.
It don't take that long to get naked. It don't take that long to get naked, hoes. Where y'all at? She told me I'm gonna keep it hot. You gonna keep it hot? What?
I'm gonna keep my hot bathing suits that I don't want to wear because it's cute as fuck.
They what Go said they croup.
The one that's like mediocre is in my chains. I can't wear them.
So let's pause the video right here because the girl in the blue is allegedly supposed to be Dejanay Johnson, the one who was in the fight video with her. And the one kneeling down on the phone is supposed to be Winter Donovan. You know, and just to stop for a minute and to watch this video and to think like, wow, y'all two was really sitting up here plotting and planning and scheming on the demise of your own quote unquote friend. Like, that is really disturbing in itself and kind of creepy and eerie to even play back and to watch, knowing that they were all probably in that room thinking of a way to get rid of Shanquella. Now, I mentioned a woman by the name of Winter Donovan, who was the woman that was on the bed in the video that we just watched. So if you can take a look right here at the registration from Cabo, you can see that Winter was clearly in attendance. She did register at the hotel and listed as one of the friends that was there in the villa. So the reason that I'm highlighting Winter is because it's been alleged that she was the one who was ultimately responsible for the fatal blow to the neck, which ended Shanquella's life. Again, this is just my opinion based off my collective investigation and research into the story. And it's also been rumored that Dejanay and Winter are very close, that they go way back. So I'm kind of like putting these pieces together that maybe there is some truth into what everyone has been saying about these two. Now, what makes me look at Winter with the side eye is because Dejanay came out with the post. And I want to also correct myself. I've been saying that her name was Dejanay Johnson when it's Dejanay Jackson. So let's make that correction first. So she finally broke her silence and she came out with two posts, I believe, which the first one has now been deleted. So the first post pretty much said that she was not the one who did it and that we will be surprised to know the real story. And the second post that she posted says, here is the thing. You all are coming for me and don't know what happened. The reason why I am putting my Cash App down is because people want the scoop on what happened. And I am not going to just offer that information up. I am not what they say I am. Well, according to her LinkedIn account, she is a Winston-Salem State University graduate and aspires to be in healthcare management, focusing on leadership. My dear, I don't see that in your near future at all, given the current events. But if for some way, shape, or form you dwindle your way out of this, you will not be in anybody's healthcare management, leadership, industry whatsoever. That's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure there will be some type of charge, if not a MURDER charge, there will be some type of charge. And with that being on your record, you cannot and will not be in the healthcare industry. So you pretty much just threw your whole life down the drain because you are a hater and you were driven by jealousy and envy. Again, this is my opinion. Comment down below and let me know what are your thoughts on this whole situation so far. How are you guys feeling about this Dejanay Jackson person? How are you feeling about this Winter Donovan character as well? So enough of these two haters. We are going to get into another accomplice by the name of Nasir Wiggins, and let's discuss his part in this as well.
The trip was from Friday to Monday, October 28th, 29th, 30th. 31st going home. Didn't even make it there. So I get off my flight around like 2:16 Mexico time. I guess we 2 hours ahead. 2:16 p.m. I make a phone call. To everybody who were there. Like I need the address. So during this phone call, that's the first time I heard that Kula wasn't feeling good. They told me that Kula was sick and she was showing signs of alcohol poisoning. So I got to the villa around 3:26. Instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Kula. Kula didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. We were in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good, so I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. There the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking, so we made it to the living room. I put on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting until the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Kula was not dead when I got there. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know it was a fight. I didn't know it was a video. I didn't know they did any harm, anything. I went in there and told her it was alcohol poisoning, so that's what I helped her as. I didn't leave her side. Dead. She was found unresponsive. Yes, unresponsive. She was unresponsive. I tried to get her to talk to me and all that, but it was none of that. There was none of that going on. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel bust in her eye.
There are so many inconsistencies with his story. So, okay, he said he came a day late, so that excludes him out of every possibility of him being involved and being an accomplice into what happened to Shanquella Robinson. Absolutely not. Because from the time that he walked through them doors, he was an accomplice to what happened. Because not once did he pick up a phone and call 911. Not once did he pick up a phone and call any entity that would come and provide some type of assistance to his friend that he said was unresponsive. And let's talk about the fact how he did not notice the knots on her head, the busted lip, any type of bruise, any indication that there was any type of altercation right away. Until the nurse came, who saw it immediately and pointed it out. And not once did he go and question. Not once did he pick up a phone. But the so-called friends were in another part of the house cooking while their friend lay in a game room in the villa, unresponsive. So Shanquella's dad got wind of this video that Nasir posted, and this is what he feels and he has to say about the events that happened that day.
When I was told, the man said he found her sitting up in the chair or either sitting up in the bed. Sitting up in the bed or sitting in the chair with a broke neck and a spinal cord.
Dead? What?
She died at 3 p.m. Najee, you said you arrived at that house on that video, you said, at 3:30 something. So if you arrived there, sir, if you arrived there, it should have been 12:30 or 12:45. You got there at that house. So evidently she had to be alive when you were there. So in that scenario, you saw the condition that she was in and you saw the bruises that she was, on her. You should have called the medics, or somebody should have called all of y'all. Y'all could have carried her.
My thoughts exactly. There were a lot of things that they should have and could have did, but did nothing at all, which makes all of them, in my eyes, guilty. Whether they had direct physical contact with her or not. I mean, just a simple phone call to call 911 or to take some effort into getting her some help. We don't know if it would have saved her life or not, being that her injuries were so severe. But the fact that nobody did nothing and her friends were out in the other parts of the villa, completely not giving a fuck about their friend who lays there unresponsive.
Do you hope happens in this situation when it comes to getting justice for your girl?
They get charged for it, ma'am. And they go back over there and do the time, because that's where they did the crime at. And they left for that, ma'am. They left for it.
It's really sad and unfortunate that this happened to this young girl who had so much going for herself. But this is what happened when you have people around you who are not genuine, who, they want to see you doing good, but not better than them. At least that's what it was giving me. They were really envious and really jealous of her. And I thought that this was premeditated and strategically planned out. I don't think that she just went to Mexico and they got into an altercation and a disagreement and things went left. In my opinion, I think that they already knew what was going to go down and how it was going to go down. And unfortunately, I can't fathom the pain that her parents are feeling about losing their child. I mean, this is not something that we think about when our kids are walking out of the door, that we're never going to see them again, especially being around familiar faces and so-called friends. This is something that I preach to my daughter all the time, especially with her having a little sketchy friend who's like sometimes jealous and envious of her. And thankfully to this day, they're no longer friends because this girl has really showed her true colors. And I believe she could have been a Dejanay Jackson. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this whole entire mysterious situation of Shanquella Robinson. All right. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I've been losing friends and finding peace, but honestly, that sounds